Be prepared for highly offensive language and adult and sexual themes. First of all, what a show. Probably the most shocking moment of the series so far. I don't think anyone really saw it coming. It was so surprising that even it raised the eyebrow that Hughie ain't even got. I mean, do you know what I mean? Jason pushed the button. He took £20,000 from the prize fund and, more shockingly, he chose to evict Letitia. No one here can believe it. Big Brother did promise, though, that no housemate was safe this week, and he wasn't joking, as we've seen another victim of Annihilation Week. As ever, our bots' cameras were there to capture the action as Letitia stepped out of that house for the very first time. Take a look.
When I knew that Jason pressed it, I knew it was either going to be me or Jane, because I had a feeling he didn't like me, and he sees me, and he just basically said he sees me as a threat. So I was expecting it in a way. I do feel like I'd be cheated out of my position in the house, but I'm not going to dwell on it. Everything happens for a reason. I'm glad now, in a way, that they can see that Jason isn't this Mr. Nice Guy, which he portrays to be. I'll be remembered, and he won't. See you later, peeps.
Oh, well, do not worry. We've not seen the end of her yet. She's going to be joining us lot in the studio. She's going to be dishing the dirt on her fellow housemates in her first interview since being annihilated. You do not want to miss it. So now, this week, all housemates except for Andy are now up for eviction. That includes Alex, Evelyn, Hughie, Jackson, Jason, Jane, Laura, Ryan and Sam. So, let's change their pictures. There they go. We're going to be chatting more about that a bit later on. Also coming up tonight, she is like a gift from God herself. Back by popular demand, Reverend Canon Ann Easter is back. We love her. She's going to be giving some much-needed moral guidance to the housemates during their week of judgment. Plus, we're going to be catching up on the house gossip since Letitia's unexpected departure. But first, it is time to meet tonight's panel. First up, we've got an Essex lad who's bronze to perfection, who never has a hair out of place and has got the perfect Hollywood smile. Oh no, I'm hosting. It's Bobby Norris. You know I love it. Next up, they always say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But our next guest is the best fixer-upper in the business. It's the fantastic Paisley Billings. She's back. And finally, she is more shameless than a text to your ex at 4 in the morning. She is the brilliant and ever so slim Tina Malone. Right, let's start with the moment that's made absolutely everyone's jaws drop. Jason choosing to evict Letitia from the Big Brother house. Here's a reminder.
Jason, congratulations.
I apologise for this to the person it is. I truly mean that. I haven't done it for the money. I don't give a shit about that. I did it purely for survival reasons. I'm doing it because I think that person's going to win it, so it gives everyone a more of a level chance. It's Letitia.
No! Oh my God! Jason! It's fine, honestly, it's fine. I get through it.
We have a mixed reaction in here. Tina, let me come to you first. What are you making of it?
I think he's a snake. I I've got to be honest, Letitia was the only person I wanted to win. I think she's the most attractive, the most real, the most honest, and the most deserving, and the only one who is sane. And do you know what? He's shown his true colours, and he says he didn't have an agenda. Listen, either way, he's going out.
Well, the housemates seem to be in a complete state of shock. Paisley, I mean, what are you making of it? Were you as surprised as a lot of people?
I jumped out of my seat and screamed at the telly, like, I'm hurt. I'm genuinely shocked,
Paisley's
and I'm upset. Like, what he did to like, that's my baby Tish. What? Like, how could he? I'm so upset by what he's done. I hate him. I cannot stand him.
I think it's safe to say that this Annihilation Week task has really struck a chord with a lot of people. Bobs, let me come to you. If you pressed the button, who would you have gone for?
Mine would have been a toss-up between Jane, just because of the fact that she's, I don't want to be here, I want to be here.
Fair enough.
Do you know what? It would have been Jane or Laura. Yeah! Because I feel Laura has brought all she can to the table. We've seen her doing bits, do you know what I mean? She's not going to bring nothing new. So her or Jane, it's kind of time to pack your bags, do you know what I mean?
OK, fair enough. It's very clear that the house is going to miss Letitia. Tina, who do you think is going to suffer the most in there with her not there?
All of them. I mean, Sam obviously is cosied up to her, but I think they don't. I think most of them now realise how decent she is. I think she's the only one who didn't have a game plan, wasn't playing a game. And I'm not being rude. I mean, I empathise with her because I was a single parent with a daughter. And what a horror. I hope tomorrow she cleans up. She's beautiful. I hope she gets the front of every mag and makes her fortune.
Well, she was obviously emotional, and she did confront Jason. Pacey, let me come to you. Do you? I still don't know. I think we're all in a bit of a shock. I just don't think anyone expected Letitia to go. How do you think she handled speaking to Jason?
Do you know what? I'm so proud of her, because I couldn't have done what she did. She was so calm, like, being that emotional and having, like, one of the biggest things she's ever done taken away from her. For her to go to him and just talk to him on a level. But what I loved was when he was like, oh, are you going to let me explain? She was like, no, and she walked off. I'm so proud of her.
Let me just say this, because I think, look, it's very, very clear online and in here that there is a lot of love for Letitia out there, and a lot of people are sad to see her go. We are a very fair show here, so is there anyone here that thinks she deserved to go?
I just want to say, if it wasn't Letitia, who should it have been?
Exactly,
everyone's getting on Jason's back. Can I just say, please?
Let's speak.
Everyone's getting on Jason's case for kicking Letitia out. There were other people going for that button. If he didn't go for her, it is a game.
Whoever pressed that button was going to be persecuted. Like Jason pushed.
Face your public.
Jason pushed out somebody that was a clear winner, but being a single mother doesn't warrant you a winner. It doesn't. My mother reared 5 kids on her own. It doesn't warrant you a winner.
Look, this is. Let me just say this. This is going to be a very big conversation piece, and we are going to carry on talking about this. But let's talk about Jason for a moment, because at the time, Jason said that he targeted Letitia for survival reasons, stating that she was a potential winner. Now, let's play devil's advocate. Bobby, this is a game show. Is that a fair reason?
And I don't want to sit here. I'm not going to sit here and bash. I don't want to sit here and bash Jason, because actually, up until tonight's show, I've actually really liked what he's brought to the table. I feel the one thing I didn't particularly like is where it seems so calculated. When he turned around and referenced she'd been on, he's like, "You've had your years on TV." I thought that's not a slip of the tongue. That's been thought about in his head.
Yeah.
I feel like
he's had it planned in his head.
I think you're the winner, babe. I want you to go. Different story, but pulling in the fact she's been on telly before, I thought.
But the ridiculous thing is, whether he walks away with his 20 grand or not, and saying he didn't want the money and all that stuff he wasn't going to win.
20 grand.
He wasn't going to win anyway.
No.
So why get rid of somebody who is, he's saying, competition to him?
Well,
he's not going to be in the final anyway.
He said
definitely
several times that the easy option, as some of you have said, would have been to choose Jane. Do we think he should have gone for Jane?
Laura.
You think Laura? Why?
I agree with Bobby. Well, I'm not going to be rude and use words I shouldn't. So, because my mum's watching, and doesn't want me to swear. We know what she is. And Laura, man, woman or beast, bring on anything and she'd be on it. So,
I think there's something that
we've seen everything.
Let me just say something. There is something that we have all forgotten here, and Jason actually beat 3 other housemates that pressed that button as well. Those were Hughie, Laura and Jackson. Paisley, were you surprised that 4 of them went for that button, or were you surprised that more didn't?
I thought everyone was going to go for it, apart from Jackson. Purely because Jackson's like the humble team player. Like, I didn't for a second
Can I
think
just
he was
say
gonna
something?
press it.
Without trying to influence anyone and what they think of people, I think Jackson thought he had it.
He did. I thought he had it. I did. Yes. I thought he had it.
A split second.
It was really close, and I haven't got the
had
stats,
it.
but you can see from how they hit their button. I think when Big Brother was explaining it to the housemates, Jackson, we're going to speak about Jackson a bit later on because there's been a bit of a shift with him, but you can see in his face when Big Brother's explaining what's going on, he's going, nah. And the second that beat went, he was like, yes. And it seemed like he thought he had it. Paisley, did you think he had it?
I honestly thought he had it. And I was a little bit happy for him, like, knowing he's got his kid. But I always knew that he'd say, oh, do you know what? I'm not going to keep all this for myself. Just because he's a genuinely nice person.
Just going back to the guy who said, no, being a single parent doesn't make you necessarily deserving. But what it does do is, she's a strong, intelligent, decent woman. Hang on, let me finish. She's a strong, intelligent woman. I didn't say she deserved the money because she had a child. I said he's a snake because he's got money and he should have let it have it.
It doesn't make you a winner. It's just because... I'm sorry. Just because everyone... Sorry, Tina, everyone that comes... Tina, will you let me speak? Everyone that comes into this house is an equal. Whether you've got money or not, it doesn't make you any difference.
And money goes to money, love.
Both very, very valid points. Very valid points from both people here. But all I've got to say is, what a way to start the show. There we go. Coming up after the break is going to be emotional, as we've got to say goodbye to this. Going to be holding back the tears because the second evictee of Annihilation Week, Letitia, and the side boob are going to be joining us on the Zoma as we chat for the first time since she left the house. We'll all see you straight after this break. Welcome back to Big Brothers bit on the side, the show that pushes all the right buttons without causing a housemate revolt. Still to come, we've got all the latest news from the house, and Reverend Canon Anne Easter's back, ladies and gentlemen. We love Anne. She's going to be here giving us spiritual lessons on the housemates' recent behaviour. But now, the side boob has sidestepped out of the Big Brother house. Please give it up for your latest evictee, Letitia! Get you a good shot, good angle.
Oh my God, this is crazy.
Listen, before we get into anything, I feel that you have been through the mill.
Love you too,
Look,
guys.
They love you. They absolutely love you too. It's probably one of the best reactions we've had this series. No word of a lie. Before we get into any deep stuff, I just want to let you know we've got your chocolate digestives here.
Thank
Just to make you feel better. So I'm
actually taking them with me as well.
You take them, babe, you can have them all. And to let you know, Wales done really well in the Euros as well.
Oh, what's the Euro? Oh, like rugby and stuff.
Yeah,
football.
But the football one.
Oh, that's good. That's good to know.
So it's made her day. Right, firstly, I think I speak on behalf of a lot of viewers. We are so shocked and surprised that you are sat here tonight. I mean, regardless of what we think, how shocked are you to be here?
To be honest, when Jason pressed that buzzer, I had a feeling he was going to pick me. I really did. So I was shocked. I was upset. I was so upset because I loved my time there. I really wanted to make it to the final. And sorry.
Fine.
But obviously, I was happy because I got to see my daughter. Sorry, I don't mean to cry. I'm crying. No, I don't even want to cry.
Stop it. It's fine. It's all fine.
No, I don't even know I'm crying.
I know, it's overwhelming. But listen, do you know what? I'm going to cheer you up because you were known for many things in that house.
Yeah.
One thing that you were known for in particular was blowing a bit of hot air every now and again.
Don't tell me they showed me farting. No.
Take a look at your box bits.
We all know that too many of these...
I live off chocolate digestives.
And too much of that can lead to a lot of this.
Why have I got so much wind? I actually need a shit.
Not anymore. With Bot's Blot Blaster, you can say goodbye to those things which leave you full of bad...
Oh, jeez, that fucking stinks.
Hot...
My fanny. It's like literally I got sweating.
And nasty gas.
Oh, I just ate that for breakfast.
Leaving you to live your life with zero flatulence.
It's just embarrassing, isn't it?
And maximum confidence.
Woo! Can't wait for Pancake Day.
Bot's Blot Blaster for the woman on the go.
Oh my God, that's so bad.
Who always needs to go.
No, that's really bad. I need to go for shit.
By the smell of that, is there a chance you've actually done it?
And don't forget, if you're one of those people that can't stop picking, then the Bot's Bulky Banisher is for you.
Letitia.
Yeah? Oh no! That's embarrassing, Harry.
Let's put a smile on her face and all that. Well, listen, that was just a bit of fun from us. We thought you needed a bit of a cheer up, but let's get back to business, babe, because, I mean, it was quite serious business. Jason annihilated you for tactical reasons.
Yeah.
He said you were likely to win it, and he also said that you two didn't get on. What do you think was his real reasoning behind voting you out?
To be honest, from the moment I came in the house, I don't think he liked the fact that I was very confident and overpowering, I guess. And I think he did see me as a threat from the moment I walked into them doors. Because no one's seen it on camera, but I would just be doing a joke or something. He'd be the one that doesn't laugh, or he'd give me death stares, and I just felt like very awkward around him. But I was never nasty to him. We didn't really argue or anything. But yeah, I wasn't shocked when he said my name, though.
You wasn't shocked?
No, I wasn't.
Four people pressed that button.
Yeah.
You didn't?
No.
Why?
Because I think whoever wins that money deserves, how can I explain it?
Whoever wins the show deserves
Whoever
the
wins
prize
the
fund.
show deserves the prize fund. And I thought, if I'm gonna get to the final, I wanted to do it fairly, and I didn't want to just do that. You know what I mean? I didn't find it good in people pressing that button.
Do you regret not pressing it?
No.
You don't?
No, I don't.
I think that's really admirable that you said that.
Honestly, I don't.
You don't?
No, because I'm a good person, and I'm not going to do that.
Let's talk about being a good person, because as you were leaving, Jason and Andy made a beeline for the garden. They didn't say goodbye to you.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel? Even the fact that Andy was sort of involved in that?
It doesn't shock me. Andy doesn't like me. They both had something against me. I think they both see me as a threat. That's the only reason I can think of. So it didn't surprise me to see them at the end of the garden when I was leaving. It just goes to show what type of guys they are. So.
Well, you say that. I mean, you've never really seen eye to eye with Andy, in all fairness. I believe your exact words were...
I hate him! I hate him! I hate him! Oh, God, Shind. I lost the plot then.
Do you still stand by that?
I don't necessarily hate him, but I do dislike the guy. I think him and Jason are the biggest game players going. They really are. And they don't care about anyone. They will step on anyone to get where they want to be. I know it's a game show, but I just don't agree with them.
You don't agree with how they're playing it?
No.
Well, look, let's not talk about the people that you didn't get on with. Let's talk about some of your house friends. We've got to start with Jane, haven't we? Because you and Jane, literally, I've loved your relationship. You got on really, really well. And at first, I didn't think you two would. What was it about Jane that you loved?
At the beginning, I wasn't that fussed to know, because I thought she'd come in, ordering me to clean about and stuff. I was like, hold on, calm down. You just stepped your foot through the door, But I don't know. I got talking to her, and I just discovered that she's a really nice, genuine woman, and she was in the house for the right reasons also. And she just reminded me of my mother as well, in a way, so it's nice to have a motherly figure there. And I loved her tantrums. It just made me...
Oh, we love a Jane meltdown on this show. But one thing you did that I absolutely lived for was the other night you actually got Jane to twerk.
Oh,
Now, I could only ask this of you, but could you show me what a proper twerk is right now? I think we should show. Spin round. Let's have a little look.
She just go like that and go...
This is just literally...
Oh my God!
Listen, you have made my day. Look, how amazing. Listen, just for that, I think you deserve something. So, Tish, no one goes away empty-handed on my show, let me tell you that. So, because I absolutely love you, I think this is a long time coming. I've got you. The Letitia Twerker size. That's for you. We'll put that there. And because I know you've got a sheep down there. And I know you like a bit of side boob. I've got you your very own Bots Bra. Sorts out the boobs and it goes with the sheep. And Tish, every one of my favourite housemates goes away with a set of these. It's your very own set of Ryland's Farewell Bang. Come with me. Leave them. Come with me. I've done it. Oh, stand up. Hang on, hold up. Mind your hands. I can't believe I just I've done it. Right. Oh, we've had a night. Right, come here, because this, we've had all that. I've seen your ass. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
But this is the moment that they all dread. It's time to spin round. It's covered. It's time for Letitia to turn red. It's emotional. It's emotional, but spin round. Don't do anything. Go and get yourself on our panel. It's Letitia. But now it's time for tomorrow's headlines in today's news. My favourite interview ever. It seems Annihilation Week might be taking its toll on the housemates, because at 12:16 this afternoon, Laura was questioning Alex's motives for getting closer to Evelyn.
It does make you think, like, are people starting to do things now that they wouldn't have necessarily done?
I get what you're saying, and it has made me question everything, because he has been more forward, but I think I gave him the benefit of the doubt because I really like him.
Yeah.
But now that, like, I'm taking a step back, I'm seeing what you're saying, I'm like...
Yeah, but it's just weird how all of a sudden in this week he's really started to kind of act upon what he's wanted to do the whole time, but he hasn't. But I could be completely wrong with that. He might just feel that now is the time's right. You know, you can't flirt much longer without having a kiss.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't.
Mm-hmm.
I genuinely do believe you and Al are literally perfect together, and I actually really believe that you're going to be together on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm saying is just keep your wits about you.
I mean, come on, if Alex wanted to get close to you, I don't think you'd be questioning it. And the dust might have settled over Jason's shock annihilation tactics, but at 12:43 this afternoon, it seemed like Jane might be seeing the benefits of playing a bit dirty.
I would have pressed that button regardless of what, if there was a prize or no prize, if there was a rotten egg, if there was...
Oh, I've said this, Jason.
Yeah.
I'm so chuffed for you.
Yeah.
You know, I was 30 seconds close to hitting the button. 20 grand in your bank, you know, is going to do good.
That's
and
going to help somebody.
I'm now going to play the game. I'm now going to do what is expected.
If you've got someone you've really got a problem with, but that person is popular,
yeah,
and you don't choose them, then you're wrong. Since what happened yesterday, people have thought to themselves, what would I do in that position?
Yeah, I'm 99.99% sure that I would have gone, because I would have been the easy decision. And I was totally shocked, Jason.
Well,
I was smiling. I was going.
I think I was more at risk than you, to be honest.
Watch out, Jane's got the gloves off, it's gonna get serious, you know what I mean? And at 3:50 this afternoon, Big Brother had all of our housemates speculating.
This is Big Brother. Would one housemate come to the diary room?
Okay. Oi!
Sorry, Jane. Hello, Ryan.
Hiya!
Ryan.
Yeah.
I'm a bit worried why he's gone in there for so long.
He's won money, he's getting money. I can almost guarantee he's getting some money.
Yeah, it's something big, it's not a simple thing.
It'll probably be like, do you want to take $2 grand or have a luxury shopping budget thing?
I'm worrying about Ryan now.
Well, he's been in there a long time, hasn't he?
Oh, are you alright? I'm okay, thanks.
What do you reckon I end up doing there?
Something fishy. He's been in there way too long.
There's something going on.
There's definitely something going on.
Well, you're going to need to stick around because we have got the exclusive reveal of the housemates' latest test coming up later in the show. But for now, that was today's news. After the break, our prayers have finally been answered. The angel on our shoulder and chaplain to the actual Queen, Reverend Anne Easter's back. and she's here giving her take on the housemates' recent behaviour. And I'm sure she's got a few choice words for them. But first, Friday night we'll see one housemate evicted from the Big Brother house. But this week, who stays? You decide! You decide. This week, all housemates except Andy face the public vote, and you are voting to save. The 3 housemates with the fewest votes will face an eviction annihilation. Who stays? You decide. From a landline, call 090 20 44 58 and add the number of the housemate you want to save. From a mobile, call 650 58 and add the number of the housemate you want to save. For Alex, add 01. For Evelyn, add 07. For Hughie, add 09. For Jackson, add 10. For Jason, add 11. For Jane, add 12. For Laura, add 14. For Ryan, add 17. For Sam, add 18. Calls to the long number will cost 50p plus your network access charge. Calls to the short number will cost 50p. Voting closes in Friday's eviction show. If you're watching on catch up after that or outside the UK, please don't vote. Votes cast after lines close won't count. Every vote cast entitles you to a free entry into our prize draw to win your very own diary room style chair. Vote and draw terms are on the BB website. Now, before we move on, very, very quickly, my favourite moment of the series so far definitely deserves a slow-mo rerun. Let's take a look at it again. 1, 2, 3... Yeah! Literally, made my year. Anyway, here to lead our housemates back on the path of righteousness is chaplain to the Queen and our guiding light. Please give it up for Reverend Canon Annie. Hello, Anne. Are you all right?
Thank you.
So lovely to see you, Anne. I mean, and I hate using this word around you, but it has been a hellish week, hasn't it? It's been a hellish week. Their morality's been tested. I mean, Jason was straight in to win that money, the chance to eliminate competition, all of that. How hard is it to stay true to yourself with all of these outside forces leading you up the dark path?
Well, it's very difficult because the group mentality is very persuasive, you know. You might be part of a gang or indeed work in an office where people are up to mischief. And it's really difficult to separate yourself and say, actually, that's not me, I'm not going to do that.
What would your advice be then to the housemates that, you know, they're trying to retain a bit of integrity in there, but Annihilation Week, I mean, it's pulled a bit of it away.
It's hard. But Shakespeare said, to thine own self be true. And that's the only way...
Oh, yeah, she knows her stuff.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
I think they're all special. Each and every one has something good to bring to the party.
True, and I totally agree with you there. But out of all of the housemates, only 4 of them actually pressed that button. It was Hughie, Jackson, Laura and Jason, obviously. Are you impressed that so many people put the good of the house before their selfish needs?
Well, it's difficult, isn't it? It is impressive because people thought of others and not just of themselves. But on the other hand, this is a game, you know.
But what do you think of the people that did push their button? Because there was 4 of them. Some people have called it selfish because the prize fund's for the winner. But, I mean, what would you say to that?
Well, I think it's part of the game. It's a gamble. It's not going to cause dying. There's going to be no plague of locusts.
No.
Let's face it, you know.
No locusts around here. Maybe a little water drainage,
Yeah,
but no locusts.
No locusts. And I think Jackson's idea of sharing the money was lovely. That's what I would have done. Yeah.
Do you believe him? Even the consequences that were there, it was still a huge temptation. It was £20,000. That could completely change any of our housemates' lives. How would you advise people in the house and at home that are dealing with such strong enticement, shall we say?
Well, it's a difficult decision. You have to think it through. For some people, they need to talk about it to others. I like to talk it through.
Yes.
Others would take themselves away and think very carefully and deeply about it. But in the end, you've got to just get on and go with it. One way or another, you make the decision.
That's what Anne Easter says. Unfortunately, the second housemate to be annihilated was Letitia. She was obviously very shocked. Let's take a look at what she said to Jason afterwards.
This opportunity come up to me. Why the fuck aren't I going to take it to earn a bit of money for me and my daughter? Who wouldn't? You don't understand. You don't. What? You drive a fucking Aston Martin. You own various properties, fucking businesses. You're greedy for doing that now. Everyone in here deserves much more than you. Everyone. They really do. But I'm glad you think I'm a threat.
Okay.
But I just want to let you know, coming in here has been the hardest thing I've ever had to do, but I wanted to get to the final for her, right? But that's all I got to say.
Do you want me to explain why to you?
No, Jace.
You don't?
I got no time of day for you.
Okay.
And you'll be up next. You'll be up next.
She's just sat over there. She obviously felt very cheated. How could she now cope with that feeling of betrayal that she's, had to go through now?
Well, Letitia's a lovely lady and she's a sensible lady. She's also a strong lady. And I think that she might in time see it as a bit of a backhanded compliment. After all, Jason obviously thought she could be a winner. I think she will, because she's a big lady, she will forgive him. I'm not sure she'll ever forget.
Oh, we are. Yeah. Spot on. She's nodding away. Well, the consequences were obviously instant for Jason, because he had pretty much the whole house on his back. Do you think he's now going to have to take responsibility for his actions? And if so, how is he going to do that?
Well, I think he will have some regrets, obviously. Regrets are part of life. There'll always be a path you didn't take, won't there? But he didn't get an Aston Martin by hesitating.
Yeah, that's true.
He got on, he carried on, he made snap decisions he would have had to have done.
That's true. Well, look, let's move away from Jason. Let's talk about Andy quickly, because he's immune from eviction this week. But he admitted to Big Brother that he is struggling with how to use that advantage of being immune. Let's have a little reminder.
I was seen as a bit of fluff that could be wafted away, and then I was seen as a villain who could be stabbed in the back. I think the people who thought that from the start now see me as a force to be reckoned with, and that's down to me, really, whether I use that force for good or bad.
Well, he's just said it, good or bad. What would you tell someone struggling to deal with what's right and wrong, basically?
Well, I think Andy will do the right thing, because that's what he's like. I think he's playing with the idea, but ultimately that's what he's like. People think he's strong and can take criticism. He's not always quite like that, you know? I come over as very confident and in your face a bit. And
in your face, Annie, stuff.
And a lady said to me, she had a real go at me.
Oh,
and
well,
she said, I know you can take it because you're strong. And, you know, she felt better. I cried all the way home.
Owen!
I know.
Give me her name and number. I'll go round there and tell her about herself, Reverend Canon Annie. I love that. Lastly, any words of advice for our housemates just to see them through Annihilation Week? It's been a tough one.
Well, I think they'll have to dig deep within themselves to find the strength and courage to be the best they can be. You know, God doesn't want us to be saints. God just wants us to be the best version of ourselves that we can. There's usually a little bit of room for improvement.
And I love having you here. Literally, you speak so much sense. Please give it up for Reverend Canon Annie Starr. I love you. I love you. Come back after the break as we are filled to the brim with brilliant moments. We're stuffed even tighter than Bobby Norris's bulge in his trunks. And as we're going to get a sneak peek into today's task, we'll see you after the break. Wednesday might actually be hump day during the week, but we are so sexy on this show. We make every day a hump day, if you know what I mean. Now, I promise you an exclusive. Let's take a look at what the house have been up to without Letitia. And Big Brother's got some decisions to make.
Ryan.
Yeah?
So far this week, the annihilation has shaken the Big Brother house. And now it continues.
No.
You have an important decision to make.
Oh, no, no, no.
You must choose whether you wish to be rich or poor. If you choose rich, then until further notice, you will live like a king in the Big Brother house, enjoying luxury food, drinks and treats. Additionally, £5,000 from the prize fund will be yours.
Are you serious?
If you choose poor, you will not receive £5,000, and the winner's prize fund will remain intact. On top of this, you will live like a pauper, completely stripped of even the simplest of luxuries. You'll be given basic rations to eat, have no hot water, and your bedding will be removed and replaced with rags. The choice is yours, right now.
Well, there you have it, Letitia. I've only got time to come to you because I really want to ask you, if you were still in there, what would you have done?
I think there's... I don't know. No, I think there's consequences if you go to the... No, you live like the queen. Actually, okay, I would have lived like the queen.
Like you choose in the main show tomorrow night to see how that one unfolded and if any money from the prize fund has gone missing. But it is Annihilation Week and we promised downright destruction and it definitely delivered. Chelsea and now Letitia have been evicted from the house and with that comes consequences, and that consequence mainly is paranoia. And as Jackson said, everyone is walking on eggshells. Now, let's bring it quickly back to Jason. Bobby, is he going to be even more paranoid now after what he's done?
I think Jason will probably go to bed tonight knowing that he will be next to go. Be it a housemate nomination or annihilation or a public vote. Either or, because Tisha's been robbed. And I think that ain't gonna bode well. And he ain't a silly geezer, I reckon he knows that.
Well, they all do keep saying it is just a game. Basically, are they right to trust each other? Like Laura rightly said, you know, look, we're all mates in here, but we're all in here for ourselves. We're coming
Right, listen, if you walk in the Big Brother house and you're trusting people, you're stupid. Because you know what you're getting yourself into. Like, you know what you're going into. You can't trust no one. It's every man for themselves.
What? Can I just quickly ask, what are you doing later on this summer? Do you fancy being a housemate? I think you'd be great. Let's talk about the housemates we've got for the moment, though. We saw Sam slightly losing his marbles tonight. Tisha, how hard is it to stay sane in there, especially during this annihilation, Trish?
So hard. Oh my God.
So she can't even do it on the outside.
I know, exactly. It's like every day you wake up and you're like, oh God, what's going to happen today? What have I got to put myself through today? Like, it is so hard, and I understand why he's losing his marbles. One, because I'm not beside him, and two, because what's going on in Annihilation Week.
Well, let's talk about Andy, the nomination sponge. They're his words, not mine. He said it's a game of popularity this week, especially. Tina, do you think the paranoia that's set in this week is starting to make people try and build bridges with people? Because we have seen Andy be there very closely for Jason.
I think Andy has aligned himself with Jason because nobody else likes him, really.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think, whilst Andy is obviously quite intelligent, I think he has become more nasty being with Jason. Well, you've got to remember this. I know you keep saying it's a game, and I've been in there, I know. Yeah. I mean, I was with, like, LaToya Coolio. I mean, it was madness. But I've got to tell you this. You know yourself, when you're in there, as much as it's a game show, you make emotions become, and you make alliances. And the one thing I would say is, Big Brother always surprises you. Who knows? Jason's paranoia might be compounded because he might throw away right back in.
You never know.
Do you know what I mean?
Like you say, I really appreciate that because when you are in there, speaking from experience, I feel like you substitute the people in the house for your friends and family on the outside.
Yes,
You do.
Yes, you do.
So it does become a really strong bond, but I do understand it is just a game. But let's talk about Jackson, because so far he's been a really popular housemate, but in tonight's episode, we're seeing the tables turn ever so slightly. Paisley, actually, no, all of you, do we think Jackson would have split that?
Yeah.
You think he would have, Tina?
I like Jackson, I've got to say, he's a good lad. But to be honest, no.
You don't?
I think possibly...
I agree.
No, I think possibly he might have slipped his mate a few quid.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
you know
yeah.
when the 20 grand's in your hand?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
I completely agree. I think everyone who pushed that button was in it for themselves and themselves only. Like, no one was going to share that money. I love Jackson, but I really don't think he was going to share that money.
Because you're really close with Jackson.
Really close with him.
But do you think he actually would have shared it?
I don't. And she knows it.
I could tell he was being truthful in what he was saying. Like, I really don't think that he was going to share it. No. Yeah. Yeah.
That's the whole thing, is everybody plays for themselves. It's a whole game.
Of course,
you can say
I get
not
that.
as a
But admit it.
But when you're in there, it's
Yeah.
a different kettle of fish.
It is.
You forget it.
Let's ask this question, and I want to ask this to you guys mainly. Do we think Jackson's popularity in the house is potentially now a bit in danger after this?
I think he thought about that after. When he knew Jason had pressed the button, he thought, oh, what? And then he was going to say, oh, I would have shared it out. Because he wasn't the first one to press the button, then he decided, oh, I would have shared it. You know, he wants to be Mr. Popular.
Who's saying no? Paisley, no?
From when Jackson didn't want to push a button to see his own baby boy, I'm sorry, when he pressed that button, there's no way he would have had the 20 G's and not shared it out at all. He would have given some away.
Actually, look, you've just pulled that up very, very quickly, Tisha. You were there when he thought he wasn't. We thought he weren't going to press that button.
Yeah.
What was going through your mind? Did you think it was an act, a front, or did you think he was being genuine?
I do think he does care for a lot of the housemates in the house, but I think he went a bit overboard of choosing seeing your kid over housemates and that. Do you know what I mean?
Also, Georgina's eviction. To me, he was a complete
John, we're going to have to start paying you a fee.
But listen,
I'm telling you.
where was the Jackson we've seen in the boardroom when he was with Georgina? He's a complete different person.
The tides are turning just very slightly, but there is one person who seems to have risen above all of the paranoia and just taken it in stride, and that's Alex. Even though you guys labelled him the most forgettable, he has said, I'm not changing. Bobby, have we got to admire that in a way? Because that could change how someone plays the game.
Do you know what, Rye? I throw my hands up and I take my hat off to Alex. Anyone who has been given that information, and in some series of Big Brother, as a little bit of a super fan, back in the day, you didn't get that information or that feedback. No. So to get that, that's a privilege. And the fact he's not going to change and he's going, I don't care, not only is he easy on the eye. He seems like a lovely guy. I literally go, do you know what? You're going to be genuine. Anyone that would change when they get that feedback, I think, no, you're a Jekyll.
Yeah.
Very quickly, I've got 15 seconds.
I think he
15
was
seconds.
worried.
Who do you want out? Who do you want out on Friday? Go.
Jason.
Jason.
Bobby.
Jason / Jane.
Jason.
Who do you want out? That's all I've got time for. Give me a cheer, everyone. A massive thank you to all of my guests and our fantastic audience. Thank you. I'll be back here tomorrow at 10:45 with Louisa Zisman, John McCurrick, and Princess Jasmine is back. Former housemate Georgina is going to be right here. Until then, have a great rest of your night.